aggregated against the standard imposed by the Executive Ethics Code, it is found that there is no basis upon which to conclude that the President contravened Clause 2.1b, d, Clause 2.3d, f, and g of the Executive Ethics Code, including the period following the alleged theft of the US dollars that took place on or about 9 February 2020 from his private house at Phala Phala farm in Waterberg, Limpopo. Therefore, the evidence does not support the allegation that the President's financial interest in game or cattle farming at Phala Phala farm exposes him to any situation involving the risk of a conflict between his official responsibilities and his private interests. Accordingly, the allegation that the President improperly and in violation of the provisions of the Executive Code exposed him to any risk of a conflict between his constitutional duties and obligations and his private interests arising from or affected by his alleged paid work at Phala Phala farm is not substantiated. Moving over to the second issue, evidence indicates that Phala Phala farm was not listed as the President's private residence on which there was a full-time deployment of the PPS personnel at the time of the crime of the housebreaking with the intent to steal and theft, because the President chose not to have it listed as he seldom visits the farm. This, according to the President, was intended to mitigate the use of state resources. According to General Rueda, since his appointment on the 1st of June 2018, he attempted to persuade the President that PPS personnel should be deployed at the farm, as the President visits as one of his private residences. General Rueda stated that when the President was not at the farm, there were no SAPS or PPS members to prevent breaches of security. General Rueda further indicated that the President has always refused the deployment of PPS personnel and technology at the farm. Having regard to the applicable prescripts, notwithstanding the President's initial refusal to have PPS deployed at Phala Phala farm, paragraph 12 of the Presidential Handbook, read together with the PPS policy, prescribes that the SAPS must take full responsibility for the protection and security of the President at all times during his term of office. These prescripts stipulate further that protection and security measures of the President include, inter alia, regular security assessment in conjunction with intelligence agencies and static protection at all official and private residences, and office accommodation used from time to time during his term of office. According to evidence of General Rueda, Mr. Ndlovu, and Mr. von Wellach, and the President on the 10th of February 2020, there was a security breach by intruders at Phala Phala farm, which the President reported to General Rueda on the same day. Thereafter, Mr. Ndlovu reported to the President that the money from the sale of game was stolen from the President's residence at Phala Phala farm. After confirming same on the 2nd of March 2020, the President reported that the theft of money from the sale of game to General Rueda. Having considered the response of Mr. Zungula, the contention that the President was the only person as a member of the close corporation to report a crime as directed by Section 34(1) of PRECA is not supported by a proper reading of the relevant section, and that both Mrs. von Wellach and Mr. Ndlovu too were persons of authority mandated to report the theft as envisaged in Sections 34(4)(e) and Roman figure 1 of PRECA, and had an obligation as persons with the personal knowledge of the crime to report the housebreaking. Section 34 subsection 1(e) and numeric 1 of PRECA places the duty on certain persons to report certain offenses. Failure to report is an offense. In this case, the public protector is not empowered to pronounce on the merits and demerits of the alleged crime and to make findings in respect thereof, because the offense does not fall within Section 6 subsection 4A of the Public Protector Act.